Okay, welcome to all of you for this fireside chat. காலையிலேருந்து இது சொன்னதுலேருந்து நிறைய மக்கள் வந்து they are reaching out to ask என்ன பேச போகிறீங்க என்ன பேச போகிறீங்க என்ன பேச போகிறீங்க அப்படின்ட்டு. சத்தியமாக எங்களுக்கும் தெரியாது என்ன பேச போகிறோம் அப்படின்ட்டு. So we have just got together to just share whatever we are thinking and life எப்படி போயிட்டுருக்கு. Every second counts. That's the title we have given ourselves actually. ஃபயர்சைட் சேட் அப்படின்னா என்னடா ஃபயரை காணும் அப்படின்னு யோசிக்காதீங்க. இந்த மாதிரி பக்கத்தில் இருக்கிற ஃபயர் பிராண்ட்ஸோட உட்காரும் போதெல்லாம் அது ஃபயராக தான் டெரராக தான் இருக்கும். ஸோ வி ஆர் ஐ லுக் ஃபார்வர்ட் டு திஸ் வார்ம்த் அண்ட் எனி டைம் ஐ வாண்ட் திஸ் வார்ம்த் ஐ ரீச் அவுட் டு தீஸ் ஃபயர் பிராண்ட்ஸ் அண்ட் தென் இட் பிகம்ஸ் அ ஃபயர்சைட் சேட். ஸோ வெல்கம் சுஜித்குமார். ஃபயர்சைட் சேட் யூஸ்வலாக இன்ட்ரோ எல்லாம் கொடுக்க மாட்டோம், இருந்தாலும் உங்களுக்கு இன்ட்ரோவே தேவையில்லை. But still, people who are still joining us, our own advisor from Alert and also the founder and managing trustee, Maatram Foundation, and the CFO, the Chief Fun Officer, the most amazing. நான் வந்து சிஎஃப்ஓ அப்படின்னா நான் வந்து கனவு பார்த்துருக்கேன். நம்ம வந்து ஒரு நாளைக்கு சிஎஃப்ஓ ஆகுமா சிஇஓ ஆகுமா அப்படின்ட்டு. ஆனால் அந்த படிப்புக்குள்ளே போக 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 ஐ வாஸ் திங்கிங் நமக்கு அதெல்லாம் கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டம் போல அப்படின்ட்டு. பட் இப்படி ஒரு கேரக்டர் இருக்குது, இப்படி ஒரு டெசிக்னேஷன் இருக்குது அப்படின்னு தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா ஒருவேளை நானும் இருப்பேன். சீஃப் ஃபன் ஆஃபீஸர், ப்ராப்ளி த மோஸ்ட் envious designation amongst all of us who has this Mike Murali. It's amazing to have you.
And happy and proud to be here amid such amazing company.
Super. So fireside chat with two incredible and amazing individuals. So let's get started. Now on the a few days back actually I reached out to Sujit, right, with a WhatsApp message that I got, and I was telling I shared with him one small incident that I heard. Hearsay mari vandhudu varumbodhu, and it was something about a mishap that happened in the Infi campus in Nanikiran. I do not know the exact facts of the case and all that. So konja naalave in the idhula varum illaya, the Crazy Mohan's drama that a character will walk into a Hindi speaking house and he will say that தலையை திறந்தீங்க அப்படின்னா தலையை தட்டினீங்க அப்படின்னா பிதாஜி மாதாஜி அப்படின்னு ஹிந்தி வேர்ட்ஸாக வந்து கொட்டும் அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி. லாஸ்ட் ஃபியூ மந்த்ஸ் பேண்டமிக், லாக்டவுன், ஒர்க் ஃப்ரம் ஹோம், all these words are the daily it's become our daily words in our daily life. So how has things been at your end, Sujit? Last couple of months, how challenging has it been? Enna pannittu irukeenga? I also have been following up your recent interviews, Maatram Foundation, neenga pannittu irukra interviews and all of that. Ipo you would have seen that ALERTATHON naanga yosiche paakala that we will be doing virtual run, and I also see that you are completely changed your thing to virtual. Everything has gone virtual. So what's been happening, Sujit?
Yeah, it's been very exciting. Apart from the human tragedy which has unfolded, now that's the flip side. To Sanal Sona, Corona is not what do you call a pandemic. Adala ஒரு சைடு தாண்டி it's a humanitarian crisis. So கண்ணுக்கு முன்னாடி நிறைய பேருக்கு வேலை போறத பார்க்குறோம், வாழ்வாதாரம் போறத பார்க்குறோம். So all that is there. But if you personally ask me, I don't think I've been ever so productive in the last 6 months. Now, frankly, this is a common statement that I hear from a lot of people. But I'm a bit lazy, and for me to do a few more things in my bucket list was simply awesome. So enna portharik in the lockdown, last I went to office was on March 25th, if I remember. Adukaprom I never been to office even a single day. Another solra yaar who brought in digitization into Indian IT companies. It's not the CTO, it's not the CEO, it's they're saying that they forward on the brigade. So it's COVID, okay, all of us working from home.
Right.
But the initial honeymoon period, the general mood, of course, among the IT workforce, the initial honeymoon is over. The first கொஞ்ச நாள் வந்து work from home, நான் exercise பண்றேன், படிக்கிறேன், wife பார்க்கறேன், husband பார்க்கறேன், அந்த கதெல்லாம் தாண்டி இப்போ there is a slowly the frustration which is coming in. So even in our organization, we keep running this poll. Okay, given a choice, what would you like to do? Work from home or work from office, or a combination of both? The last two options seems to be pretty high. People are a little bit tired. I think more than anything else, வெளியில போக முடியல. I think that frustration is coming in. But I've been using my time very, very productively, Rajesh. So hobbies about the vittu ponanda reading alla bayama pick panniyachu. Time schedule வருது, work ஒரு side, then of course there's a peak admission time. By now எங்களுடைய மாற்றம் admissions முடிஞ்சு காலேஜ் ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கோம். இன்னைக்கு actually I'm taking a break from Maatram because of this interview and the interview which is going to follow next. Otherwise, Sunday is a very, very busy day for us with admissions. So, some time for hobby, quality time for family, which is now available. Work, of course, IT organization, you can understand the workload there.
Right.
Maatram, அது வந்து re-energize பண்ணும் அடுத்த நாளைக்கு, and then the cycle goes on. So, I have no reasons to complain, but what's happening outside, definitely a cause of concern. And I sincerely hope this pandemic gets over as quickly as possible.
Right. So true. அப்படியே we'll shift our focus to our CFO. CFO கொஞ்சம் தலைமுடியை காட்டுறீங்களா? இது பண்றதுக்கே உங்களுக்கு ஒரு நாளைக்கு எத்தனை நேரம் எடுக்கும்?
ஒரு எக்ஸிபிஷன் பொருளா மாத்திட்டீங்க. This is the easiest to do actually. You wake up, you just put a pony, till the end of the day it just stays intact. And on the fun side apart, lockdown la ennathra valatha appdi yara keta at least kaamikalam. And last but not the least, this is a hair and not salary, so it grows faster.
நான் க்ளீனா மறைச்சிட்டேன் கம்ப்ளீட்டா. இது அந்த பிரச்சனையே நமக்கு கிடையாது. So Mike, what's been happening at your end, Mike, with all this stuff? And you have a very your profile in your company is like just you got to be bringing in a lot of freshness into what's going on around with all these challenges. What's going on in your life right now?
I'll start with the problem of being in such a panel. Over the last 3-4 times I've got an opportunity, I get so engrossed and carried away by what Sujit is saying that I completely lose focus of what I have to say. So thanks to Sujit for that. But this has been a eye opener to a great extent. As Sujit said, the curve was setting in when people in December 2020, the one word that IT companies and employees will refuse to use for the next 5 years is work from home. Because people were longing for it till March 2020, saying எப்படா எனக்கு கொடுப்ப, நான் வந்து வீட்ல நான் மேனேஜர்ட்ட போய் கிட்னி கடன் கேட்கற மாதிரி கேட்பாங்க எல்லாரும். சார் தயவு செஞ்சு ஒர்க் ஃப்ரம் ஹோம் பண்ணிக்கிறேன் சார், 1 மணி நேரத்துக்கு முன்னாடி லாகின் பண்ணணும், நீ ஆன்லைன் எப்பவுமே இருக்கணும், எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஹவர்ஸ் ஒர்க் பண்ணணும், நிறைய இருக்கு. ஏப்ரலுக்கு ஆரம்பிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் பீப்புள் வேர் லிட்டரலி பெக்கிங் சேயிங் தயவு செஞ்சு ஒர்க் ஃப்ரம் ஹோம் பண்ணுப்பா, தயவு செஞ்சு ஆன்லைன்ல இருப்பா, நீ எவ்வளவு நேரம் இருந்தாலும் பரவாயில்லப்பா அப்படின்னு. So it dramatically changed. Our ability to try and adapt to this change was the fastest. IT companies in about 30 days were completely transformed. Having got that, the first set of lockdown, people were just brimming with energy. They were saying, Abba, I have time to do. I was doing internal inside home fitness. I was cooking new recipes, learning new skills. And they knew that this is not going to end soon. It's going to be a way of life for a long time. So they started fitting in more things with the agenda. So just said, never been more productive, never been more engaged. Today, sitting here across the world, we are trying to talk to people, address, make this a new normal. This is from an individual standpoint. From an organization standpoint, when this all settled, one of the first earliest departments to be reached out to was mine, because my job is employee engagement, and here are a set of 120,000 odd people sitting at home with their families. You had a great opportunity to go to their living rooms, engage and excite them, and make this count. Make not the lockdown get into their minds, but actually we made the lockdown feel like a good thing. So that was the intent. And net to summarize this, we didn't look at this as a calamity. It's actually a big opportunity.
So true, absolutely. As we speak, I see a lot of people joining us. Makkale vaanga, fireside chat வந்து நிறையவே இங்க, there's a lot of space around the fire here, so join us in this conversation. Throw in whatever your thoughts are. We're all here to just interact, relax for the day, and share some thoughts about why every single second counts, right? So coming back to this focus of every second counts, Sujit, back to you. நம்மளோட இந்த பீரியட்ல, right, in this period actually, since you are also responsible for a large pool of people, right, even otherwise there is a challenge about ensuring efficiencies, their mindsets, their daily deliverables and all that stuff, yeah. So in the period, what did you experience it even more challenging? Of course it is an opportunity, but from a human mind perspective, whatever you guys said, initially it would look like on honeymoon, but now everybody do not want to work from home. So what are the challenges you are right now facing and things that you're handling?
It's huge. I think first of all, culturally we are not ready for this. The work from home, 1 or 2 days, it's okay, Rajesh. I mean, especially I'm talking about the IT workforce. There are two worlds in this pandemic. And the IT is a privileged set of people. Frankly, that's the unme. Of course, there is job loss and all this stuff, but you can still work from home. And then there is the other group which has to go out, and the sufferings that they are going through is huge. But I'm talking from my perspective of working for an IT organization. 2-bedroom வீடு இருக்கும், அதில் ஹஸ்பண்ட் ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷன் இருப்பாரு, ஒய்ஃப் ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷன் இருப்பாங்க, 2 பேர் 2 லேப்டாப் வச்சு உட்காந்துருக்காங்க. இப்போ கிட்ஸுக்கும் ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸஸ். ஸோ அந்த வீட்டுக்குள்ள போனாலே ஒரு என்ன சொல்றது, ஒரு திருவிழாக்குள்ள போற மாதிரி இருக்கு. 4 சைடு 4 வாய்ஸ் கேட்குது. சடனா இந்த லாக்டவுன் ஆரம்பிச்சப்போ நம்ம எல்லாரும் என்ன சொன்னோம்னா, எவ்ரிபடி time is available to you, you should do webinar, இது அது காலையில எக்ஸசைஸ் பண்ண ஒர்க் பண்றது ஒரு டைம் இருக்கு. அதை தாண்டி போகும்போது very clearly we have seen that the personal line and the official line is crossing each other very very easily. மேனேஜர்ஸ்க்கு வந்து சாட்டர்டே சண்டே இப்போ என்ன பண்ணணும்னு தெரியல. அமேசான், நெட்ஃபிளிக்ஸ், எல்லாத்தையும் பார்த்தாச்சு. சரி, ஒன்றும் பண்ணலாம், ஒரு ரிவ்யூ கால் போடுவோம் அப்படின்ட்டு ஒரு ரிவ்யூ கால் 8 மணிக்கு சர்வசாதாரணமா கால்ஸ் செட் பண்றதை பாக்குறோம். பிட்வீன் 8 and 10 அப்படின்றோம். நம்ம ஏன் வீட்டுல தானே இருக்கேன், நீ எங்க போயிட போற, யாரும் லீவ் எடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. HRல we have seen that the drop in the number of leaves that people have taken has dropped significantly. எங்கேயும் போறதுக்கு இல்ல, so லீவ் எடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. And the overall fear and pandemic, because last 7 months or 6 months என்ன பாசிட்டிவ் நியூஸ் கேட்டிருக்கோம். நம்ம ஜென்ரலாவே நம்ம மீடியா வந்து பாசிட்டிவ் நியூஸ் கொடுக்காது. டெய்லி கொரோனா கவுண்ட், எத்தனை பேர் இறந்து போனாங்க, எத்தனை பேருக்கு இன்ஃபெக்ஷன் ஆயிருக்கு, ஒரு சோகம் மியூசிக், இதே தான். ஸோ இன்ஃபேக்ட் ஐ வில் டெல் யூ வாட் ஐ டிட். லாஸ்ட் ஒரு 5 months ஆயிடுச்சு. now I've stopped looking at television news channel. இந்த கொரோனா கவுண்ட் அது ஒன்றும் பண்ண போறது இல்லை. நம்ம வேணா தட்டு எடுத்து தட்டலாம், ஏதாவது பண்ணலாமே தவிர I just literally stopped watching the news. When I speak to people, என்னோட ஆர்கனைசேஷன்ல இருக்கோம், people who are out எல்லாம், they are only seeing the negative news around. And when slowly corona started impacting their near and dear ones, பக்கத்து வீட்டு அங்கிளுக்கு கொரோனா வந்திருக்கு, ஒரு ரிலேட்டிவ் வந்திருக்கும் போது நம்மளுக்கு வந்துருமா அப்படின்ற அந்த பயம், ஒரு ஜென்ரல் ஒரு ஆங்ஸைட்டி இருக்கு. சேலரி ஹை கிடைக்கல, ப்ரொமோஷன்ஸ் கிடைக்கல, வேலை போயிடுமா அப்படின்ற அந்த ஒரு because you're surrounded by negative news, that is the biggest challenge. That's the biggest challenge. So every second call that you take as an HR person, you only are listening to more of these I will not use the word crib, but as a sense of helplessness. But actually adu illa, but still they that is an area where people are really seeking help right now. Other than the last 2 months la emotional wellness is becoming a huge cause of concern, and that we are spending more time to say, how do we tackle this problem? ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல, நார்மலா இருக்க, ஆபீஸ்ல இருந்தா பிரச்சனை இல்லை. இப்ப நம்ம 3 பேருமே ஆபீஸ்ல இருக்கோம்னு வச்சுக்கோங்களேன். if I am upset, Mike will pitch in and say, what என்னடா ஆச்சு உனக்கு அப்படின்னு. he will just pep us up. இன்னைக்கு அது பண்ண முடியல, இதுதான் பண்ண முடியும். Zoom call தான் வந்து பேச முடியும். what's the problem? So that physical proximity இல்லாததே வந்து ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய சேலஞ்சா இருக்கு.
ரைட். இந்த ஃபயர் சைட் சேட்டுன்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஃபயரையும் காணும், ஒன்றுத்தையும் காணும், எதுவாக இருந்தாலும் லேப்டாப்பை பார்த்து தான் பேசிகிட்டு இருக்கோம் நம்ம. ரைட். ஸோ 100%. பட் ஸோ ஹேவ் தேர் பீன் எனி ரியல் இஷ்யூஸ் ரிப்போர்ட்டட் that you're handling, Sujith? Real issues?
Yes, I mean, not just for me. I mean, across the HR forums la naanga pesumbodhu people with suicidal tendency adu increase aayirukku. Of course, there were a few unfortunate incidents of employees also passing away due to multiple other issues and stuff like that. But overall, enna paakrom appadina, the emotional wellness part has taken a hit, a huge hit. எனக்கு வீட்ல வயசான அப்பா அம்மா இருக்காங்க. And குறிப்பா நம்ம சென்னை பீக் ஆச்சு தெரியுமா ஒரு டைம்ல, ராஜேஷ். Now we are kind of maintaining 1,000+ cases. When Bangalore and all other cities were kind of normal, only Mumbai and Chennai were reporting high number of cases. The hospital beds kadikla அப்படின்றப்போ the panic with which the people were reacting was huge. So they expected HR to turn around things and all this stuff. That's a time when me or all my colleagues have to spend a lot of time. So even today, the vertical that I handle has the highest number of night shift employees. So in the group ரொம்ப வித்தியாசமான ஒரு group. ஆபீஸ்ல இருக்கும்போது அவங்க ஜாலியா இருப்பாங்க பசங்க. இப்ப நைட் ஷிஃப்ட் கஷ்டம், நோ டவுட். பட் அட்லீஸ்ட் பசங்க யாராவது இருப்பாங்க. இன்னைக்கு வீட்டுல எல்லாரும் தூங்கும் போது நீ லேப்டாப் ஓபன் பண்ணி உட்காந்துட்டு நைட் 2:30 மணி 3 மணி 4 மணி வரைக்கும் நீங்க வேலை செய்யணுன்ற போது ரொம்ப கொடுமையான விஷயம். So yeah, there were a couple of unfortunate incidents, but a lot of them we were able to make up in advance. பேச முடிஞ்சது அவங்க கிட்ட, அவங்களுக்கு நெசசரி ஹெல்ப் கொடுக்க முடிஞ்சது. But I mean, this is my 20th year in Infosys, right? In the வருஷம் வந்து ஒரு special challenge தான். It's something that is unprecedented, that I have never handled it in the past.
Wow. But first of all, 20 years in Infosys.
20 years March முடியுது sir. Literally the 19th year, but 20 years in March.
20 years enter பண்ணிட்டீங்கல்ல, அதெல்லாம் வந்து it's a big deal. You know, I do not know. When we started, got into the work life and all that, you know, being ரொம்ப நாள் ஒரு கம்பெனியில் இருந்தானாலே there used to be a perception, you know, is it that you're not able to get anywhere else, this, that, and all.
சார் இப்போ என் டீம் மெம்பர்ஸ் அதான் கேட்குறாங்க, என்ன பாஸ் உங்களுக்கு யாரும் வேலை கொடுக்க மாட்டாங்களா, என்னாச்சு உங்க 20 வருஷம் எப்படி பாஸ் இருந்தீங்க,
20 வருஷம் எப்படி ஒரே கம்பெனியில் இருந்தீங்க, ரைட், அப்படிதான் இருக்க போகுது. 20 வருஷம் ஒரு கம்பெனியில். எங்கள் அப்பா வந்து பேங்க் ஆஃப் பரோடாவில் he was there for what 35-40 years. Now this is what it is. Okay, we're living as times are changing. Mike, back to you. You are a happy mascot, right? You are spreading happiness, and you are like just you are super happy, but in your role as well, you are mandated to bring happiness as well, right? So what did you need to do, and things that you had to do to get people engaged and all that in your organization, about lakh people that you are responsible for?
First and foremost, it's been a blessing, Rajesh. As Sujit said, I'll just closely follow Sujit. This is my 15th year with Capgemini, just doing all the fun stuff. But since I graduated many years after Sujit from Liba and Loyola, I'm a little more younger in the bargain, youngest in this 3-member fire chat. Nevertheless, my dad keeps asking me this question. Enda nee vandu office pora, மண்டே அன்னைக்கு பாட்டு பாடுற, பேண்ட் நடத்துற, அப்புறம் எல்லாரையும் டான்ஸ் ஆட வைக்கிற, அப்புறம் போட்டோஸ் எல்லாம் எடுக்கிற, வேர்ல்டு பூரா டிராவல் பண்ற, வேலை என்ன பண்ற அப்படின்னு கேட்பாரு. சோ அப்பா இதுதான்ப்பா வேலையே, போய் எல்லாரையும் பாட்டு பாடி டான்ஸ் ஆட வைக்கிறதாப்பா வேலையே. He refuses to believe. So that acted as a blessing. I mean, obviously you believe in something about spreading joy, spreading happiness. Everybody wants to retain employees from a HR or a marketing or an employee engagement standpoint. In the pandemic, as I said, we were the first departments to reach out and saying everybody is at home, like in 25,000 employees plus families. There are also a segment in these employees where they were caught up like in PGs, they were caught up as solo living inside apartments for 1 month, 2 months, just you yourself inside an apartment, not allowed to go out. We had a huge opportunity to reach out to them and take care. And as Sujit said, mental well-being, we launched a exclusive vertical called Happiness and Well-being, where not just the song and dance, but we touched multiple aspects, be it emotional well-being, be it tie up with a partner to try and call and be there as a solace, or engaging people. So far, in about 4 months' time, we've touched about 93,000 people in different engagements, be it singing, reality shows, cooking, Independence Day, fitness, meditation, yoga, the very wide varieties. Every 15 days, there is a series of things that gets launched, and we monitor what kind of progress, social media progress, keeping them alive and excited in different forms. We made teams come together, even though they are virtual. We've made them come together and engage themselves digitally to involve in competitions. Team bonding was missing completely because you're all, so we did virtual related team bonding sessions, very innovative ones. Ellathiyum social media actions kondu vandru because they're all perpetually on social media. We use these as a tool, apart from concentrating on pure wellness, mental well-being, counseling sessions of people are on just a phone call away, apart from the COVID care that was happening. So that was a serious part of it. Even though this is not so serious in terms of the look and feel, but the emergency need at this point in time to engage and keep them happy and spread a lot of smiles of significant importance. So we took this as an opportunity, and we've thrown across at least about 25 different interventions for people, or an escape routes for people to convert this into a milestone. I can at least vent myself. I look forward to the 1-hour yoga session. I look forward to the Monday music jamming. Me and my teams can come dressed together in a particular theme on a Friday and put it on social. Day after tomorrow is World Engineers Day. And of course, the company is built with such kind of 1 lakh engineers. So we launched a big campaign around that, and people are sharing Engineers Day pictures on social media, their graduation day pictures. Creating, as an escapist, you create as many escape routes for them to escape from this scenario in the mind and break free from this as a diversion. So that does them good. So we've used these as significant tools.
Super. Escapist. அது என்னது புதுசா இருக்கு? Escapist is what you help people escape from what they are in a mire, and you help them escape. First of all, escape from their own minds.
while it may seem little offbeat or negative, saying I'm an escapist, but for a problem, if you want to escape yourself, you divert yourself onto something positive or something that you love doing,
right,
so that you get better mindset to handle your problems better. Kamala Hassan once quoted very nicely that if I am faced with a problem, the first thing I do is go and sleep for 3 hours. I escape and run away from it, sleep. So when I wake up, I'm a lot more charged up to actually face the problem and a lot more fresh. And the Madri convert such kind of escape is where I give you an opportunity to do something that you are passionate and happy about, and that gives you a better mindset to handle your current reality.
Nice, super, Mike. And I wanted you to throw some more light on, there's a chance that people can understand that word slightly differently. As I see into the live chat, Sujit, there's a couple of questions for you based on what you spoke. I'm going to read them out for you for your response. People joining in here. Whether work from home will continue for cost saving purpose, ? Spending on rent and infra can be reduced to increase in hiring at pupil. Is it possible? That's the question for you, Sujit.
No, work from home for sure will increase, Rajesh, not necessarily as a cost-saving measure.
Right.
Okay. Now we have proven back to the clients, look, it's possible without any major security incident, client or the deliverables impact, if we can deliver high-quality work, why not? So, will it be the same after a post-COVID situation? The answer is no. I think work from home for sure will increase. Okay, now that should be seen as a more flexible approach. Now, work from home continue for a single reason. From a diversity standpoint, we lose a lot of our women workforce for the simple reason that they have to come to office. Some of our IT organizations are all in the outskirts of the city. Travel Bangalore, for a simple 10 kilometer, our man will understand, right? Now, Kormangala electronic city, so for a simple reason like that, people quit jobs right now. But imagine if that flexibility is there, that I can work 4 days from home and then 1 day I can go to office when there are important meetings. If IT organizations are also thinking beyond. Development center illada edathike, we are asking people to go. Like for example, let's say if I have a center in Pune, but I don't have an office in Mumbai, you can still work from Mumbai. Enniki meeting irukko annik mattum you come to office and go. So those are all possibilities which will sure open up, and which is a good sign for the IT organization. Yes, on the other side, if that does reduce your infra cost, so be it. But and the facility, I mean, I'm sure Mike will also agree. We love going back to the campus. I terribly miss my food court coffee and tea. I love being in the amphitheater in front of all people. So that is something people will not compromise for sure. It has to be a balance of both, in my view.
Sujit, I want to add on to what you said, because the charm of being physically present with people, obviously social distancing, etc. You or me, so at least for the last 15, 18 years, we have never been indoors, not meeting. You and I used to meet at least 500 people every day at a normal office scenario. So you're and that is having an effect on you mentally as well. But you're also itching to go. But other with rules and regulations, and I give you the flexibility to say, come in 2 days of a week, 3 days of a week in the next 6 months forward. Also, it will help people get closer to their families. People who want to work out of Vizag, Salem, Trichy, etc., and come in once in a month, twice in a month for physical meetups, etc., is going to open up, a plethora. This gives you more savings potential. Your standard of living goes up, so you are a much more happier individual, and you are a productive employee net. So there is lots to gain both ways.
Awesome. In fact, you have no clue how much this is setting into the context of what's going on here at the ALERTATHON. Is this positivity is so much required. And one of the reasons why we got on doing this virtually is also the people are all inside homes, and of course, yes, the safety is most important, but some amount of physical activity, excitement is something that can add some salt and pepper to their lives and all that, and we see a tremendous traction. In fact, as far as this run and this event is concerned, we are doing much better than the usual physical event that used to happen. So that goes to show that people are wanting to step out, people are wanting to do something slightly different, keep themselves positively engaged, and convert this whatever little despair or anxiety that sets in because of the current times into something more positive. Now I'm going to I want us to sort of narrow down on sometimes in spite of all of this, see, there's a loads of such positivity around there. There's a loads of such positive things that one can look forward to and all that. Adayum Tandi, right? Adayum Tandi, there is one moment that could force somebody to get towards an untoward direction, right? It could be to a student, it could be to a employee, it could be to anybody, right? And the second, right? So is there anything that you would want to say as to how does one handle themselves from making a wrong decision, from going down the wrong path, and those few seconds, if they save themselves, they are saving themselves for good.
So Rajesh, about last 2 days, 5 suicides, right? For NEET. Like yesterday night, one of the YouTube channels reached out saying, "Can you do a quick video?" Unfortunately, I was outside. That's my biggest worry. NEET or exam find the students killing themselves is I will not blame the students. It's a system. It's a parenting. It's the schools which has to be taking a huge load, right? Yesterday that girl and the பொண்ணு எழுதுற லெட்டர்லாம் படிச்சா you can't stop tears rolling down your eyes. She says I'm tired, right? The letter keeps on talking about how she's not able to live up to the parental expectations, right? So net in the digital medium, the flip side of having so many Facebook friends and WhatsApp and all this stuff will just stop with this likes and comments. எனக்கிட்ட கேட்பாங்க, சார் நீங்க எழுதுற போஸ்ட்லாம் இவ்வளவு பேர் ஷேர் பண்றாங்க, இவ்வளவு பேர் கமெண்ட் பண்றாங்க, how do you feel? I said I don't feel anything, because after I write the post I don't even go and read. I'll go through the comments, I don't respond, because I'm fully aware that is not the real world. Okay, the people standing by you, digitally supporting you, it's all great. But உங்களுக்கு கிரைசிஸ்னா எவனோ கூட வந்து நிப்பான் பாத்தீங்களா, நீங்க கூப்பிடாம, that kind of friends is very, very important, Rajesh. So people who are surrounded by good friends who can elevate themselves to the next level is something which is very required. Second, and the moment I have always realized that in my job also I've done it. If you can talk to somebody, you don't need to bring him out. Even if you talk to somebody, listen to them, I think you can make a difference. எனக்கு வந்து ஒரு டைம் இருந்ததுன்னா I can share an incident which happened several years back. And this is by far the best employee emergency I've ever handled. So there is this guy's employee's brother who called me and he said, my brother is in a town in Masulipattinam ஒரு ஊர் ஆந்திரால, where he has committed suicide. Suicide, I thought the employee is no more. He said, no, he has taken pills. And I really don't know. Phone பண்ண எடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறான். So I have this number. He passed on the number. I called that number எடுத்தா அந்த employee is responding to me. Apparently he was in love with the girl and he went and met the girl's father. கல்யாணம் பண்ணி கொடுக்க முடியுமா, ஒரு காஸ்ட் இஷ்யூனால கல்யாணம் பண்ணி தர மாட்டேன்ட்டாரு. This guy took some sleeping pills. And right in front of my eyes, he's collapsing. Okay, WhatsApp call la kadiyadhu appo. He's collapsing, and imagine somebody's dying on the other side, and you're here helpless. Chennai, adu Masulipattinam. I don't know what to do. Couple of times I tried again, then he disconnected my call. Enna pannunu therilla. The only thing I did is I first called Dr. Rajkumar, J sir. Okay. Doctor, இது மாதிரி ஒருத்தன் பண்ணிட்டான். அவர் ஒரு கேள்வி கேட்டாரு எனக்கு. அப்ப என்னடா இப்படி கேக்குறாரு, மெடிசன் டேப்லெட் சாப்பிட்டானா பாய்சன் குடிச்சானான்னு கேட்டாரு. ஓகே, எனக்கு புரியல என்ன கேக்குறாரு இவருக்கு. how does it make a difference? இல்ல டேப்லெட் சாப்பிட்டா it takes some time போல, apparently it takes some time to blood streamல mix ஆகிறதுக்கு. நான் சொன்னேன் டேப்லெட் தான் அப்படினா. அப்போ சொன்னாரு உனக்கு ஒரு 1 hour 1.5 hours டைம் இருக்கு, you should somehow get him அப்படினாரு. எப்படி கண்டுபிடிக்கிறது இவரை? போன் எடுக்க மாட்டேங்கிறான். So then I called the Chennai Corporation, Chennai Police Commissioner Nataraj. இப்போ சார் அவர் வந்து அவரோட son used to work with us in Infosys. அவனை புடிச்சு எழுப்பி நைட் இது 12:30 மணிக்கு. So he said, எங்க இருக்காங்கன்னு கேட்டா ஒரு க்ளூவும் கிடையாது. All I could remember is when I was speaking to this employee, I could hear a Sai Baba song in the background. Okay. Sai Baba koil. My father used to be in fisheries and he said Masulipattinam is a very, very small town with few streets. So clue is he is near somewhere near Sai Baba temple. The Chennai commissioner called the Rayalaseema commissioner called panni. This guy was picked up, given a stomach wash and all this stuff, and was saved from in the hospital. Next day போனார்னா இவர் வந்து சென்னை கமிஷனர் கூப்பிட்டு சொன்னதனால அங்க வந்து armed guards ஓட வாக்கிங் போறாரு வெளியில. Now it's that one spontaneity of his younger brother who's not working with us. Somewhere he knows the name and he called me, right, that moment, and this guy also picked up the call. So அதனால தான் சொல்றேன் every second counts, right? For us, if only we believe that there is plan B. Most of us are successful, Rajesh, not because of plan A. It is because of plan B. Something didn't work out. Something else worked out. And if that is something which students or young professionals understand. Today, I was having a chat with my son when I was talking about his 5 student suicide. I said, look, mine is a classic case. 71 in mathematics, 100, 200. If I can go and head HR for an organization in like Infosys, and today I can educate about 1,000 children, there is hope. I always say that if I can do it with absolutely nothing, I had all the reasons to give up. And the plan B, option, it's beautiful. I mean, this is a very emotional subject. I'm saying parents and teachers, if you can say that I have zero expectation, no matter what you do, you're still my son and daughter. Parents or they go on to be very, very successful in life.
Awesome, superb, Sujit.
From where Sujit stopped, Rajesh, because as he was continuing, I could see the story extending beyond. That moment of magic, on the second, on the payan decision, Sujit out of the box thinking. Sujit also mentioned about what you cultivate around you, okay, and what you sow around you, and that second matters because of the kind of people, the kind of environment you sow around you. Let's talk some math, and there will be a lot of youngsters will be watching this, and of course, we take it a pride to address a lot of youngsters in different forums, engineering. Next week, we're going to talk to potential engineering students, etc. The objective is not to get education. The objective is not to just a degree, etc. If you just break this down, even for parents, etc., we say we have an average lifespan of about 68 years, which is about 5,95,000 hours to live our life. Of that, about 1,90,000 hours goes off in sleeping. 50,000 hours goes off till the time you're 16 or 17, where somebody else is deciding your life. 100,000 hours goes off in daily chores, which is brushing, traveling, taking bath if you want to. If it's a Sunday, none of us take bath. The rest of the time that is left to you is actually 110,000 hours of productive time. This time is up to you. This hours and seconds that we broke out, it's important for you to invest this time in something that you are extremely obsessed about, something that triggers you. Example, when people do this, there has to be the seeds of plan B, plan C, plan D sown in their minds that the world is not about this as well. There are 101 other opportunities, entrepreneurial, different other new things. Like Sujit, I also have a son who's in 12th, who's going to take on a career post this. And I tell, mine is drastically opposite to Sujit's example, where I was a state rank in economics in my 12th standard, school first in accounts and commerce, and a state rank. But now, for state rank, diametrically 360-degree difference. Okay, but your education, studies, or the marks may not take you where you are. It's your individual passion as well. So invest time in cultivating that. Surround yourself with people who will be there at the beck and call, or people who are positive and vibrant, so that you can escape from that negative scenario to focus on such kind of positivities. The people around you will make you get out of this scenario come what may. So that's how this beautifully ties in.
Super cool, awesome. And as those 3 words and the context in which you guys put it, amazing. Every second really counts. And also, I think it is a lot about ourselves to make every second count also, right? What you do with it is what matters. You might have 100 plans. You just plan A, plan B, plan C. I would just want to add to that to say that finally, what you are going to do, action, and that's what really counts, and that's what makes that second. That they say that either you just live through moments, or you make your moments really momentous, right? In the context of what we do here at Alert, right? This resounds in our ears every single day, and when you say every single day, when it comes to saving lives, it's not even seconds, it's milliseconds, right? It's a milliseconds of your action that can make a difference to somebody else's lives. Netike, Innike, and all that, people who are watching now, if you have missed out on some real life incidents of people making those steps, deciding to go forward and help in an emergency situation, adala share panni, it's available on our social media handle. Please go through them and get to know a little more about ungla mari, enna mari, nammala mari makkal who have got themselves trained, and be prepared for that 1 second to convert that into something that will count, so that some lives can be saved as well. So beautiful, fantastic thoughts that you guys are sharing. In fact, as I slightly, go to a tangent of driving this into saving lives, which is the broader theme of the ALERTATHON that is going on. A statement that rings in my ears always, that I read somewhere, I've heard people say that, and I also realize it is true, is that we live in a country, when it comes to saving lives, the statistics that you guys were speaking about, both in terms of industry, I am glad that I'm outside the regular corporate life. I think about 18 years is well spent in the corporate world, but I'm moved on and trying to make a difference in this space. 17 lives are lost every minute, okay, and less than and over the kind of numbers that we see that we are losing due to the pandemic. Just for emergencies, the numbers are like 10 times, 20 times more. Right? If you look at cardiac arrest, it's like about 4,280 people for every lakh of people who lose lives. Many a times at your workplace, right? நீங்க உட்கார இடத்துல நீங்க வேலை பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிற இடத்துல for whatever reasons, and it's probably not about stress, it's probably not about just your lifestyle and all that. But how prepared are we? The pandemic, I think, is a great eye opener to everybody, that how ready are you with a plan A, plan B, plan C in everything that we do, right? So this statement, I'm going to take Sujith back a few years when I make this statement, that in our country, when it comes to saving lives and emergency care, that needs to come at the right time, at the right place, to the right deserving person. We live in a country where pizzas get delivered faster than emergency care, right? And you are somebody in your own career knows this knows this closely, very closely, right? So can you take us back as to what it meant? There's a reason why I asked this question, is because if pizza could be delivered on time, right? If it's so possible that a pizza could be delivered on time, why can't we save lives and we lose time in saving lives?
Brilliant question, Rajesh. I think first thing first, in the lethargy, this can never happen to me, or attitude. Right? அதனால தான் சொல்றோம், இன்னைக்கு ரோட் ஆக்சிடென்ட் பார்க்கும்போது அது செல்ஃபி எடுத்து இமீடியட்டா FB லைவ் போடுற கூட்டத்தை தாண்டி அது போய் தூக்கி ஹெல்ப் பண்ணணும், இல்லை ஒரு ஆம்புலன்ஸ் 108 கால் பண்ணணும். பாத்துறீங்களா, சுத்தி நின்று எப்பா யாராவது ஒரு ஆம்புலன்ஸை கூப்பிடுங்களாம்பா அப்படின்னு ஒருத்தர். ஓகே, it doesn't strike him that he should call first. First thing அதுதான் நான் நோட்டீஸ் பண்றேன். This will not happen to me, and when something happens to somebody else also, நம்ம என்ன பாவம் இல்லை அப்படின்ட்டு போயிட்டே இருப்போம். எனக்கு என்னன்னா, நான் first my 2 years in my career was with Pizza Corner. Okay, and நான் இன்ஃபோசிஸ்க்குள்ள நான் நிறைய சொல்லியிருக்கேன். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் ஐ வாக்ட் இன்டு இன்ஃபோசிஸ் வாஸ் டு டெலிவர் பீட்சாஸ். அப்படி ஒரு ஐடி கம்பெனி இருக்கிறது எனக்கு அப்பதான் தெரியும். And we used to run a promo called 39 minutes or free. Okay, now அப்ப Domino's கிடையாது, and Domino's came slowly in. Domino's is called the delivery experts. Okay, so between the three brands, நீங்க பாத்தீங்கன்னா Pizza Corner is used to be famous for hand toss pizzas. These guys, Pizza Hut used to be famous for the pan pizzas, and Domino's used to be famous for the thin crust and their delivery. Okay. So Pizza Corner was an Indian brand, and they used to give some very tough competition to the other two guys by coming out with innovative promos and schemes. So the scheme is 39 minutes or free. You order a pizza, from the time the pizza gets delivered, 39 minutes kulla deliver aagala, pizza is free. நான் ஹெச்ஆர்ல இருந்தேன், so I used to train people on how to do delivery and all this stuff, right? Insurance இல்லாம அனுப்ப மாட்டோம். 1 year into the job is when I realized how many people we are putting our own pizza drivers, our life at risk. அப்போ ஒரு இன்சிடென்ட் நடந்தது. இது எப்படின்னா, இஸ் a college student. அவன் வந்து நந்தனம் கிட்ட he met with an accident. அவன் கீழே விழுந்திருந்தான். அவன் கீழே விழுந்து 3 மணி நேரம் கழிச்சு தான் எங்களுக்கு கால் வந்தது. So I was the one who went along with another manager. Was badly bruised, fracture எல்லாம். அவனை வந்து எப்படியா ட்ரை ஹெல்ப் பண்ணும்போது அவன் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல சேர்த்துட்டு அடுத்த நாள் போய் கேட்கும்போது அவனால தாங்கவே முடியல, அழுதுட்டு இருக்கான். அவன் சொன்னா, சார் நான் வேலையை ரிசைன் பண்ணிடுறேன் சார் அப்படின்னா. இல்லடா பரவாயில்ல, இன்சூரன்ஸ்லாம் இருக்கு சார் அப்படி இருக்குடா அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, அவன் ஒரு விஷயம் சொன்னான் எனக்கு. I will never forget that. He said, சார் 3 மணி நேரம் அவ்வளவு பேர் பார்த்துட்டு போனாங்க சார். என்ன நார்மலா யாராவது ஒரு ஆட்டோ டிரைவர்னா கூட தூக்கி விட்டு போயிடுவாங்க, பார்த்துட்டே போறாங்க. ஒரு 4-5 பேர் இதே டைலாக் தான் சார் சொன்னாங்க. எம ஓட்டுற மாதிரி ஓட்டுறீங்களடா, நீங்க உங்களுக்கு எல்லாம் சாவு இப்படிதான்டா வரணும், ரோட்லயே விழுந்து கிடந்து சாவுடா அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்க சார் அப்படின்னா. So what the common public didn't understand, அப்போ 39 minutes are free. The pizza is free for the customer, but it's never free for the customer. It gets deducted from somebody else's salary. Right? So the madness, you drive like crazy. Okay, as late as yesterday I ordered food from 3 restaurants. Wife go to restaurant, payanukku onnu enakku onnu. Okay, the Chinese restaurant, எனக்கு 30 minutes varum potirundhathu. It took 1 hour and 30 minutes for the food to come. Order is yet to be picked up. You want to call? I mean, I didn't want to call. My son said, why don't you call them and ask them? I said, no, the moment you're going to call and say speed up, how much time does it take? Avana call panni yamba late na ulla order pannala appadina. I know I'm putting somebody else's life at risk. Big deal. ஒரு மணி நேரம் வெயிட் பண்ண இன்னொரு 30 minutes செத்துற மாட்டோம் நம்ம அந்த சாப்பாடு வரதுக்கு. அந்த பீட்சா கார்னர்ல வேலை செஞ்சனால தான் எனக்கு அந்த இம்பாக்ட் புரியும். டைம்லி டெலிவரி போனா கை தட்டிப்பாங்க மேல எல்லாரும். Great job done, 100 deliveries done, 150 delivery done. But what we didn't realize is all is 150 deliveries, 200 deliveries. We were putting people at risk. Not just pizza drivers, not just the delivery boys. அவன் போகும்போது யாரா தட்டிட்டு போயிட்டாங்க. And that has also happened. So it's a little unfortunate. You are rightly, you put it beautifully. Pizza delivers gets faster than healthcare, right? It is surely because of the attitude, Rajesh. And that attitude is, it will not happen to me. And when that emergency strikes you, you know what? We are paralyzed. I mean, ஒரு paralysis சொன்ன மாதிரி இருக்கும். நமக்கு யாரை கால் பண்ணனும் தெரியாது. அந்த 108ன்ற நம்பர் கூட மறந்துரும். And when we realize that it can happen to me, I will be prepared. I will be mentally prepared. I will be more sensitive towards somebody. And the delivery boys எல்லாம் வரும்போது ஒரு 2 நாள் சொல்றப்ப அது வாங்குற எல்லா கஸ்டமருமே இத சொன்னா எப்படி இருக்கும்? மெதுவா ஒண்ணும் அவசரம் இல்லப்பா. I can wait. பாத்து போங்க. I make it a habit. When I pick it up, I said, please drive safe. மெதுவா போங்க, பாத்து போங்க. Right? I think those things makes a lot of difference in my view. Right?
It does.
Attitude changes, I think.
Completely it does. You know, you've been in that space, so really glad that you brought out some of these very important aspects. All of us, இப்போ எல்லாருமே வந்துட்டு we are ordering food, right? Like how Sujith சொன்ன மாதிரி, you know, என்ன அவசரம்? I mean, like, you know, end of the day, the person who is bringing you that food is a life. Let's know that you know, he is putting actually salary la deduct ana kuda paravailla, like he or she is actually putting his life at risk to get you that food on time. Okay, so
Rajesh, just one point. But now vandu anga HR la irundha kuda Saturday Sunday you are expected to work in the restaurants, whether you are HR, marketing, yara irundalo. So I have gone on deliveries. Okay, so I edu mari guest la irundanga na solren kelunga, 12 மாடி அபார்ட்மெண்ட்ல லிஃப்ட் ஆஃப் பண்ணி வைப்பாங்க, so that you climb up 39 minutes. ஒரு கெஸ்ட் கிட்ட நான் போய் கொடுக்கிறேன் pizza free, right? ஒரு கெஸ்ட் கிட்ட போய் நான் கொடுக்கிறேன், மூச்சு இறக்க போய் கொடுத்துட்டு வரேன். அவர் சொல்றாரு, உங்களுக்கு என்னப்பா ஒரு முறை கூட நீங்க லேட்டா வர மாட்டீங்க, இதோட 15-14 தடவை ஆர்டர் பண்ணிட்டா எல்லா டைமும் டெலிவரி கொடுத்தா நான் எப்பதான் ஃப்ரீ பீட்சா வாங்குறது? சோ ஐயோ, அதெல்லாம் பின்னாடி யோசிச்சு பார்த்தா what kind of human beings do we have dealt with ன்னு தோணும். So free pizza என்னலாம் பண்றது?
Yeah. I mean, just I'm speechless listening to this. And in fact, மக்கள் கேக்குறவங்க இத புரிஞ்சிக்கணும் that see some of these schemes and policies and all that, many of these organizations that they come up with, the systems around, they work in great systems around where everything around is also fine. The roads are good, you know, everybody's traffic sense is very good and all that. Nama country is very challenging. It's a lot of challenging environment in this place. Ninga 911 தூக்கி வந்து இந்தியால இம்ப்ளிமெண்ட் பண்ணாலும் it may not work, right? Because we are a different country, we are a different we've got to find our own solutions. So let us be sensitive to some of these simple things. Daily நம்ம லைஃப்ல நடக்கக்கூடிய சின்ன விஷயங்கள். I think we've got to be sensitive to some of these things to ensure that we don't put somebody so much at risk, so that, you know, we have to get ourselves served. You know,
is that a great learning that this pandemic has taught us also? Yeah, when we are all inside indoors and when we are seeing COVID warriors and doctors praise பண்றது மோர்கொண்டு நம்ம எல்லாரும் இருக்கிற அபார்ட்மெண்ட்ல when there is a COVID infected gentleman or a family, first things first we are saying is, you know, let them get well soon. The stigma part is over. There were some stigma examples. Today we have 4 apartments which are COVID affected. We have formed a group where one person takes care of breakfast, one person takes care of vegetables, provisions, so that it gets delivered in their thing. When you come together, maybe this pandemic has made people